Hello, everyone. Bit of a rush. I got here. Hi. Good to see you tonight. Oh, my cards. Where are they? Gotta grab my cards. I'll be back. Lucky I don't have my pajamas on today, hey? I've actually got clothes on. Usually I have some pajamas on. Hi, everyone. Yes, I forgot my cards. They're in the lounge room. Usual disorganisation. Things don't change much around here. Hello, everyone. Not on Instagram tonight because I didn't have time to mess around. Hi, Veronica. Good to see you. I was in a bit of a rush. Hi, Katrina. Hello, everyone. Oh, shit, cards are flying everywhere. A bit excited tonight. Good morning. I'm just going to move this back because that's not on top of me. Hello, Wendy from the UK. Rachel, hello. Hi, everyone. So good to see you. Yes, so tonight, Halloween, hey? Well, it's not really. It's Beltane. Here in Australia, Northern Hemisphere, yes, it's Samhain. Here it is the Beltane, so not really. It's not really. This is the celebration of moving towards summer here, but we do Halloween, don't we, in our sort of crazy way. God, I've got hair sticking up everywhere. Is that how my hair looked today? Bits of hair all over the place. Goodness me. So good to see everyone. Oh, I've forgotten something. So while I've gone and sort that out, the thing that I've forgotten, I'll be back. I'm still here. I'll wait for a few people to jump on. I'll grab that thing that I have forgotten about. Do that now. So there it is. Okay. Yes, I bet you are, Tracy. How exciting to have Samhain in Ontario, Canada. Amazing. Yes. Well, we're all celebrating it here in Australia as well, even though it's actually not Samhain here. But yes. Oh, Kim, hello. Good to see you. Yes, haven't seen you for a while. Yes. Angela, hello. My mate, my bestie's online. Hello, Wendy. Beverly, hello. Good to see you. Wait for a few more people to jump on. So whilst I wait for a few people to jump on, my name is Marina Lovasz, and I refer to myself as your soul purpose mentor. And I support intuitive and spiritual entrepreneurs to monetize their passion to purpose, creating programs and services that sell out. And I teach channeling and tarot. Hello, Maureen. Good to see you. So how this works, I'm going to do a weekly energy report. So I'll pick some cards randomly, 3 cards, and these cards will be the energy report for this week. And then, so I'll do that first. So that's a reading for the collective, your spirit team. Hello, Beck. Your spirit team, my spirit team, your higher self, my higher self, all working in sacred collaboration together. Hello, Tan. Good to see you. Yes, and I've put my hand up to do the reading for us, for the collective. Very happy to do that. And yes, so after I've done that, if you want to ask me for a reading, you just need to put yes in the comment sections or comment section, or ask me for, ask me a question. We'll just put yes in there. So yes, okay, well, liked and subscribed. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, love. Appreciate that. Would like to know your name. I know that's not your real name. Hello, Debbie Higgs. Hello. So a little bit of housekeeping. So I've got it looks like I've got 2 spots left for my tarot mentoring program. Today's the last day that you get it at the early bird price. So it is a 7-month training program for those of you who want to up-level your tarot, moving away from novice to tarot therapy. So it's not a fortune-telling style psychic development course, although we don't deny the psychic world, and I assume that everybody's intuitive that enrolls in the course. The course is focused on psychotherapeutic techniques, narrative techniques, or narrative training, hypnosis and Jungian psychology, and I incorporate that into the teachings of the Mythic Tarot. So we move away from fortune telling into the realm of tarot therapy, where we hold space for our clients. I'll teach you how to hold space for your clients, for them to get in touch with their unconscious, repressed material so it can rise to the surface, and we can help them integrate that information so it can be used for their highest, for the highest purpose, help to uncover blind spots on their path, to help people see the fate that they are creating through the choices and actions that they're taking. And of course, it does include the intuitive arts as well, but it's a big, heavy component on Jungian psychology and tarot psychology. So it's a fabulous course. No one in Australia is doing it. It's my little baby. I better hurry up and have it. Anyway, so yes, it's very popular. Everybody who has done well, not everyone, but most of the people who have done my training are now working as tarot therapists and have set up their own private practice. So I do teach ethical reading, ethical tarot reading. So yes, fortune tellers need not apply unless you want to upgrade your practice and become a professional and stand out amongst the sea of fortune tellers and stand out as a tarot therapist. So the link is in here. I'll just put the link in now. There you go. There's the link. I've only got 2 seats left. I only take 6 people per intake. Reason being is because it is intensive, and you'll be doing your own therapeutic work, your own therapy in the course with me each week. So we'll be working together to help you have your own personal growth throughout the course as well. It's a fabulous course. I'm so proud of it. And you won't get anything like that in Australia. Not yet anyway, until somebody copies me, which is likely to happen at some point. So yes, the link is there. And if you jump on the link, all the information is there for you. Early bird finishes tonight. There are some easy payment plans, and you're welcome to use the easy pay method. Most people do. So I've made it really accessible for you. But we meet every week. We meet every week for 7 months, although we will have a gap over the Christmas period. So from the 17th of December to the 22nd of January, we have a month off for Christmas, and for holidays, school holidays and that sort of stuff can be tricky for parents. And most of the people that do my training are single mums. And yes, and then we pick up again in February, basically. Yeah, and it's amazing. Everybody, I've got great reviews. I'll have to start sharing some of my reviews, hey? Soon. I've got really good reviews for the course. And yes, all of my tarot therapists now have their own private practice, making money with the tarot, legitimately, not fortune telling, holding ethical, professional space for people to learn about themselves and to grow personally. So, all right, now it's time to do some readings. So I'm going to pick 3 cards. I'll do that now. So this will be the energy report for this week. We're all hoping for good cards, right? We all want some good cards. I certainly want some good cards. I definitely want to have something positive. We'll see what comes up. We're all waiting eagerly. All right, let's have a look. Oh, you cannot believe it. Well, so the first card. I was talking about this on the way in the car to my friend. I said, we don't want the 3 of Swords. We definitely do not want the 10 of Swords. And we definitely do not want the Death card, because that will not be a good sign. So, yes, Angela, are you excited now? We've got the 3 of Swords. So the 3 of Swords, I know. Can you believe it? You just can't make this shit up. Honestly. What the hell? What the hell's up with this? Okay, well, I know, Katrina. This is not a good sign. This is not a good sign. Never mind. It's all good. All right, so the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is endings to difficult situations. So for those of you who might be it does represent the potential for endings of difficult relationships, toxic relationships with people who have been unkind or unfair to you, toxic family connections. This card suggests that there are endings, and the ending can be somewhat painful and difficult, but necessary. This has been going on for some time. When this card comes up in a reading, it is about, sometimes I speak of it like, yes, yay for endings, of the not so good. Exactly, Debbie. This is a good, yes, Spirit gives us exactly what we need, Tracy. You're absolutely right. So this is about, sometimes I say this card is about lancing the abscess or lancing the cyst. And so it's gross, I know, but you're letting out the toxicity so that you can heal and you can finally move on from the past. So sometimes this card will come up when we've been in a bit of denial or when we've been trying to sweep things under the carpet, but you just can't do it anymore. You just can't deny it anymore. And ties have to be cut. Endings have to be had. So it looks painful, this card. It does have sort of a painful look to it. In the story, Clytemnestra, here she is. Whoops, Clytemnestra, and that's her lover, and this is Agamemnon. In the story, Clytemnestra is avenging her daughter's murder because Agamemnon sacrificed his own daughter to win the war in Troy, and she was devastated by that. So she wanted to kill him for it, and so she plotted his murder. So when he came back from Troy, she was waiting for him, and they murdered him whilst he was in the bath, as you can see in the story. He was murdered in the bath. So she was avenging this murder. And yes, so this is like when this card comes up, it is really about endings, like ending toxic relationships, cutting ties, finally ending things, finally moving on, finally lancing, letting the toxicity out. Some of you, it might mean some grief. For some of you, it might mean, am I streaming on Facebook? Yes, I am. I'm streaming on Facebook as well. Yes, it needs to happen. This is the thing that needs to happen. And it is difficult, but sometimes I explain this card like ripping off a Band-Aid. You just rip off the Band-Aid and yes, it's short-term pain for long-term gain. So it can be about friendships. It can be about lovers. It can be about family members, toxic relationships in family. At some point we don't, like I've said this before to clients that, at some point you have to, how do I say this? You don't have to fix your family. You don't have to do the work to fix them. At some point, you've just got to accept that this is the way they are, and you make a decision whether or not you want to participate in those behaviors or participate in their drama or not. And this is that moment where you just go, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this. I don't have to try and fix me. I don't have to try and fix them. It's finished. Cut the ties, let it go. So it is a fairly intense card. It does describe endings to relationships that are just not working, that are just not happy, that are just not good. So this is a good card, even though it's difficult, even though it's painful. Okay, the next card. Oh, look, and you see, and now we have the messenger. We've got all the pages in the Mythic Tarot refer to messengers. So they're a messenger of the element, and how the element is influencing how the element will influence our week. So this card is this is the page, obviously the Page of Pentacles in the Earth element. Hello, Nell, good to see you. And yes, and so this card represents self-care. It represents taking care of the body, focusing on your health. It also represents investments, investing. So this week we're being called to make some investments so that we can grow whatever it is that we want to manifest in our life. If we think of the earth element, we think of it as spirit into form, creating ideas into matter. And how do we do that? And sometimes, yes, it is with money. Often it is with money. We need to spend money to create the things that we want in our life. So this does have the energy of this card is about investing our resources, investing your time, your energy, your money, your body. Your body is a vehicle. Investing yourself in something worth growing. You can see here there's lots and lots of seeds. For some of you, it might be new employment. For some of you, it might be business. For some of you, it might be my course, jumping in and taking that risk. With this card, it's a healthy risk. It's a healthy risk. Pentacles as a messenger is a really good, this is look at all those seeds. The risk will be worth it. It will, if you nurture it, if you water it, if you take care of it, if you fertilize it, manure your garden, it will grow and it will flourish. So this is the promise of, look at all those seeds. This is the promise of it flourishing and being abundant for you, completely, like really abundant for you. But it's the beginning. So it needs to be, you need to take care of what you're seeding. You need to look after it, water it, or do all the things to make it grow. I was talking about that today with a client, a potential client who was looking at my course, and she was saying to me, like, I don't like, can you make money out of tarot, for example? And yes, you can. I mean, I've built my business and my house, bought my home based on the income that I make from tarot. And yes, but it has been a constant drive. I have continually nurtured, watered, taken care of, learnt, studied, read, continued to pick myself up when I would fall and start all over again. And this is kind of the energy that one needs to make this, to have this flourish. You've got to go all in, and you've got to do the work. You've got to get your hands dirty. You've got to be prepared to do the practical work to make it grow. Okay, so the next card. Oh, all right, more swords. So we've got the Four of Swords here. No major cards this week, so that's I suppose that's a good thing. Well, I don't know. It's a thing, isn't it? Major cards, or the trumps, actually represent psychological rites of passage, and they're like the big lessons that we're currently learning in our lifetime. The Four of Swords actually represents recovery. So naturally, isn't it interesting? Naturally, it comes after the three, right? So we do the thing. We make the decision. We cut ties. You say no. You put up the boundary. You make the decision. You do the thing that you're uncomfortable about ending, and you end it, and then you experience recovery. So the recovery, sometimes I think of this recovery as like unpeopling, or like recovering over difficulties. Like, you need space. Sometimes I'll say to my clients who have broken up with someone, that it is really important to spend some time on your own. It's not ideal jumping from one relationship to another. It's not ideal not having space between relationship. Like, this is the card of having that space, having that private time, like retreating, like some retreat there, like giving yourself, it's personal reflection. So I would say with this card, sometimes it is about recovering from health issues. Sometimes it is about recovering from difficult relationships. You're in the recovery. This is a really good sign. I was talking about this today, about being a bit traumatized by my past, and by some of the things that have happened in my past. And for me, when I see this card, I see this as a good sign that actually I am in recovery. Actually, I am recovering. And it does take time, right? It does take time to process and to understand, to understand what happens. Sometimes we just need that time we need that time to process. So I think this is a really positive card. So I wouldn't say with this card, this is the week to go like being really extroverted and I don't know. It's the card of spending more time on your own and being like giving yourself some private time, some sacred space to unpeople, really, to unpeople. I mean, how often do you let yourself unpeople? Sometimes people are scared to do that. I actually like being in my home on my own. I don't mind it. I enjoy that private time. And I think this card is about that, being comfortable being in your own space, because it enables you to heal and to rest. So I would say to all of us this week that to not feel guilty for having quiet moments, quiet time, get as much rest as you can, because there's a lot of energy that's going to need to be taken. Like you're going to use a lot of energy to get this moving, to get your dreams into reality, and enjoy this quiet week. Even though some of you will be going through some difficult endings, like transitions, like endings, for some of you it will be quite emotional. But let yourself have some private time this week. You don't need to go and party to recover. Like, to recover would be simply like Netflix, or getting as much sleep as you can, resting, meditating, just really looking after yourself. This is the card of self-care as well, so really taking care of yourself this week. Maybe this is the week that you start the diet that you've been talking about, or maybe this is the week you start drinking a bit more water. Self-care. This is the card of self-care, but it's about retreat in preparation for the next stage of the journey, because all endings, really they're precipitators of a bit of chaos, a bit of dissolving. The dissolving of one life or relationships can create some chaos, and it just can be really difficult. So, okay. Interesting cards this week. I was hoping for something a bit more exciting, but there it is. There's our weekly report. So quickly, 3 of Swords. This is the endings to difficulties, difficult relationships, difficult family members, difficult friendships, cutting ties, lancing the cyst, letting the toxicity out, healing, allowing yourself to heal, taking care of your body, taking care of your health, taking care of your finances, investing your time, your energy, and your money into things that matter, that are going to take care of you, that are going to fuel you, bringing your ideas into physical form, creating the life that you actually want for yourself, or creating the job or the career and the things that you actually want for you. Focusing on that, but also taking care of you. The focus is you taking care of yourself. And then we've got the 4 of Swords, which is about retreat. It's about meditation. It's about spending more time inwards. It's about letting yourself have private time, the importance of private time. And yes, the recovery from illness, recovery from crisis, giving yourself some space to process what has gone down this week. It sounds like it can be potentially quite a rough week for some of you. Okay, there you go. This week's reading. So, let's see. I've been feeling a bit rough actually myself, so it'll be good for me to have a quiet week if I can sort of have one. I've got a pretty busy week ahead of me, but yes. Okay. Let's see. Who am I going to read for? Tracy. Hello, Tracy. Would love to know if my home business idea will work out for me and help others. Let's have a look. Hello, Linda. Good to see you. Oh, sorry, I just burped. It's not very good, is it? Unprofessional. Just had dinner. Shoved a sandwich in really quickly. I was rushing to get here, but I got here. I'm here. I'm definitely here. So, okay. Tracy. Let's see. Oh, you've got 2 really big cards here, 2 major cards. So would love to know if my home business idea will work out for me and others. So the first card I want to say is that you're in the middle of a transition. You're transitioning. You need to be patient. You need to be patient with yourself. You will get what you want. You will have this business. I think this business idea, this tells me that it is valuable, that it will happen. That's my things sliding down. That it will happen. This is a positive card. My feeling it's a yes, but it's not right now. You need to be really patient with this. Hecate has her own timing. And sometimes I explain her like the moon card, like being a caterpillar in the chrysalis. Like you've just got to give yourself some time and you've got to give it time. There's a divine timing with this card and it's not right now, but it's in the process. It's in the process of happening. So you need to be patient with yourself. And yes, so this is the moon card. My feeling is that people who will come and see you will potentially be going through a crisis themselves. So you need to be ready. You need to have everything set up ready to have this thriving business. I think you need to be prepared. And this is the card I would suggest, to start preparing, getting things ready for how this business might look. And the moon card is about spiritual crisis. So I imagine some people might come to you having some sort of spiritual crisis or like a psychological, issue, crisis, where they feel like, a bit lost in life. And you'll be there to help them through that. But you need to be patient with yourself around this. So the Hermit, this is about the existential crisis, this card. So it's somewhat... there's more to this card than that. But look, I think you're going to have to be realistic about this. And I think sometimes people forget about that in business, that it takes time to build a flourishing business. My business wasn't built overnight. It's taken me a good 4 years. Well, I'm going into my 4th year this year. This is my 4th tax year in business. And it's taken me a good 4 years to build a thriving business. And I think you need to be patient with yourself. He rules time. The Hermit rules time. But it's like now or never. You need to get, if you're going to get started, you get started now. And yes, it's going to give you a huge like connection, meaning and purpose. It will give you that sense of why, purpose. Because this is the card, as I said, the existential crisis. Like, what's the point of this? What's the point of my life? Like, why am I doing this? This job, this business idea will give you a sense of purpose and meaning. It's not going to happen without some hard work. The Hermit is also, in astrology, is also known as Saturn. Saturn, when I think of Saturn, I think of life wasn't meant to be easy, right? Like hard work. Life, you've got to be disciplined. There's going to be hard work. You're going to be stretched. You're pushed out of your comfort zone. It's not going to just come to you just like that. You're going to have to put some elbow grease into it. You're going to have to do work hard to make it happen. So don't get caught up in some of the spiritual dogma out there around manifesting, because a lot of it is bullshit. It takes hard work. It does take hard work, and it means and working more hours than what you would expect to get something off the ground. You're working 60-hour weeks and that sort of stuff to get things moving. So don't be fooled into thinking that you're going to like do some orgasmic alchemy and it's just going to happen, because it doesn't really work like that. Yes, okay, that's it from me for you, Tracy. So it's a yes, but just be realistic about it. You need to be realistic about it. Okay, who's next? Saturn in your 7th house says it all. Oh, yeah, you've got to be patient. Yeah, you're going to meet someone in your older years. It's now. He's there. You just haven't. He's waiting. He's there for you, Nell. We know he's there. So, okay. Oh, so many amazing people. I don't know who. Oh, my God. Fred, piss off. Block user. He's gone. Oh, God. Why do people just jump on here and say the blood of Jesus Christ saves sinners? Did I block him? Tried to block him. User was blocked. Good. See you, Fred. Fred Green. God's sake. Don't want to argue with those people. They're not worth arguing with. It's nuts. Nutty. Not well. Okay. I'm trying to pick someone. So we'll meet. Oops. Here we go. No, sorry, Natasha. It was another girl. Sorry. I'll come back to you. Nicola Milligan. Will me and Stephen get back together? We do love each other, but there hasn't been a balance. So I stood my ground yesterday and we broke up. Oh, so sad. I'm sorry about that. I hope you're okay. Let me see. Your neighbours are like that. Are they, Shannon? Yeah, wow, So's mine. I think mine's a bit traumatised by my, I don't know. I don't care. You get what you get. And that's it. The end. The end. What can you do? So, right, Nicola, let's pick a couple of cards for you. Let's see what comes up. Nicola. Oh, a bendy card. I wonder what it is. Oh, okay. So, Nicola, look at this card, the 3 of Cups. This tells me that you were blind in love. Like there's been, I'm not sure that, or maybe I'll say it like this. You're both sort of living a fantasy. You're both living this sort of fantasy idea of what, or potentially you're projecting a fantasy of what you wanted onto him, and he might have been doing the same thing to you. Will you get back together? Well, not without some challenge, not without some difficulties. I think the possibility is there for you, but you're at risk of not having the real thing. with the Three of Cups, yes, it is the card of celebration and the potential for relationship, but it's the very beginnings of a relationship where people aren't being honest with each other. It's the blind in love stage. So I'm not sure how, I think it's like you've got to take off those rose-tinted glasses, take them off and see things as they are, which is what you've done. I think being with him, I think it's possible, but not without facing some challenges. I think it will be very challenging to stay with him. I think if you were to push through it, yes, potentially on the other side, are you willing? I mean, are you both willing to do the work to come together, having this human relationship rather than this spiritual fantasy of God and Goddess when you're just two human beings with all your faults and issues? Like, at what point will you accept each other for who you are? And if you're willing to do that, then yes, but it's going to take some work. So it's, I think the potential's there. If you wanted to, you can, but it's going to require the two of you are going to have to do some work to make it work and see each other for who you really are and accept each other for your faults, because nobody's perfect. And I think, this is the thing, isn't it? When we, in relationship, especially when we first meet someone, when we first start, we sort of put on our best. We look good. We try and look good and be polite and put on your best face, all that sort of stuff. But everybody has their shadow. So it's whether or not you can deal with that, whether or not you're prepared to work through it. I think if you do work through it, you'll have success. But he's got to be prepared to. The two of you got to be prepared to work through it. Okay. So it's not a no. It's just, the question is, are you willing to work through it? Okay. Sherry Richards. Hello, Sherry. I would love, Cherry. I would love a reading, please. Thank you, Marina. Okay. Yes, would love to read for you. Let's see what comes up. So, so if you've just joined, hello there. My name is Marina Lovasz. I have got a little bit of housekeeping here. I'm just going to put a link in for my fabulous 7-month tarot mentoring program for intuitive and spiritual entrepreneurs who want to become professional tarot therapists, moving away from fortune telling into the realm of tarot psychology. You will learn, obviously, everything about the mythic tarot. I'll teach you about the mythology and the psychology behind the mythology. You will learn about Jungian psychology. You'll also learn Counseling 101. You'll learn narrative therapy. You'll learn some psychotherapeutic techniques that I use in my readings with people that enable them to connect with deceased loved ones. And yes, it's jam-packed with some awesome. It's an awesome training. Everybody that has done my training have loved it. But 90% of the people are professional readers now. Some people do it because they just wanted to do it. They just wanted to learn the tarot and learn from one of the best. And yes, you won't have a course like this. You won't see a course like this in Australia, at least anyway. I'm the only person I know that is teaching tarot therapy, and I designed the course. And I'm very proud of it. You won't get anything like this. So we meet every week. We'll have a gap over the Christmas period. We meet every week for 2.5 hours to do some training. And yes, it's a personal development course as well. So you'll be doing your own, practicing therapy on each other. And yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's really, really fabulous. I'm so proud of it. And yeah, you won't get anything like it. I've only got 2 seats left. So if you'd like to join, jump in. Tonight's the night. My early bird finishes tonight. So I encourage you, if you've been sitting on the fence and you've been thinking about doing this, I would encourage you to jump in if you take your practice seriously. You can be a beginner, or you can be, at a level of expertise. You will be learning. Everybody starts from scratch doing my course. So it doesn't matter what level you're at. You can come in at any level, beginner or advanced. Okay, Sherry, this is for you. Yes, definitely. Thanks, Jake. Jake is amazing, by the way. Jake is one of the graduates. He's now doing tarot therapy with his clients, and it does make a huge difference. It just you're holding an ethical space. It's a professional and ethical practice, and I think if you take your practice seriously, and if you want to be taken seriously, you would want to be doing this training, this course. Okay, now I'll read. Hey, Sherry, this is for you. Jake's amazing, by the way. Go and have a look at his page. Jake, Morgan Schultz, Dr. Lisa Winters, there's quite a few people, Claire Bennett, a few people that have done my training that have become very successful in their tarot practice. But they worked hard towards it. Okay, so Sherry, this is for you. Four of Swords. We read this card at the beginning of the reading. So first of all, you've got a major card here. Actually, let's start with this one. You've got a major card here. This is the Strength card. The Strength card actually represents healthy ego development through the practice of setting boundaries. That's going to fall. Is that going to fall? No, it's not. What's going on there? My light. That's strange. Just turn it that way. Weird. Yes, so the Strength card represents boundaries and setting healthy boundaries to create a healthy, or to develop a healthy ego. Ego isn't a bad thing. It does get demonized in traditional or spiritual New Age circles. They demonize the ego, but ego is essential. Ego helps us to integrate that unconscious material that comes up, when we do reflective work or processing dreams. It helps us to understand, or helps us to integrate that information. Your ego is what gets you off the park bench so that you can face life's challenges. And each time you face it, you overcome a challenge. We call it the hero's journey. When you overcome a crisis, you develop this healthy sense of ego. Jung says we spent the first half of our life developing a healthy ego, well, hopefully developing a healthy ego, and the second half of our life breaking that down, dissolving basically back into the pure consciousness. So this is the development of a healthy ego. This card, it suggests that you need to put down some firm boundaries, that boundaries are an issue for you, and that you probably when the Strength card comes up, sometimes I'll say to people, you need to acknowledge the anger that you feel, because it's a signal, it's a sign, it's trying to tell you that there's been a boundary violation, and that, or you're transgressing your own boundaries and you feel an injustice, but it's because you're not saying no. This is the card of learning how to say no, and saying no, or not today, or I don't know, because usually when I say I don't know, it's still a no. I haven't made a decision yet, so it's still a no. I don't know, so I'm not going to make any decision right now. It's still a no, even an I don't know yet. So this is about learning how to exercise your voice and exercise your power. In Hercules, what he does is he has to atone for the murder of his family, and he's got all these 12 different things that he has to do to atone for this murder, and one of them is killing this lion. And this lion has this invincible, like impenetrable skin. So the only way that he could kill this lion was to strangle it. And so eventually he skins the lion. After he strangles it, he kills it, and he wears the lion's coat, and he becomes known as Hercules, the Invincible. And it gives him this distance between himself and others. He has this sense of agency, this sense of sovereignty. This is who I am in the world. This is me, and this is what matters to me. So it is the development of me, myself, and I. And there's nothing wrong with having a healthy ego. There's nothing wrong with ego is identity, having a healthy sense of identity. And, it can change. Obviously, change our identity. We shift out, we grow, we change, it shifts over time. But this is the development of that through having healthy boundaries, being able to say no. So this tells me as well that you need to unpeople. You probably give away a lot of your time to others. This is the card of taking some time out for yourself. You need it. You need that time, that space for recovery, to recover. I suspect you've been through a lot. You haven't really had that space, that time, just to be on your own, or be like not have to be there for other people, to be there for yourself. Okay, that was for Sherry. Message is boundaries and space for you. I'm going to read for now. Sure, Sherry. Fire Grace. Hello. Can I have a card before bedtime? Thanks. Yes, you can. If you're feeling generous, it would be really amazing if you want to share this reading, this live. We all jump on here for free to do readings for you every week. And if you're feeling generous, a share would be amazing. No pressure to do that. But yes, of course, we're all very appreciative when you do. And, excuse me, yes, that would be amazing if you do share. So, okay, so Sherry, Fire Grace, this is for you. Oh, thanks, Jake. Thank you. Thanks, Shannon. Amazing. I appreciate the share. Okay. Feeling a bit sick tonight, actually. I'm going to be honest. Feel physically not 100%. Can't see the time. There we go. That's the time. Right, got it. I was wondering what time it was. Okay. Sherry, this is for you. Okay, first of all, first card. So this tells me that there is definitely change in the air for you. There's a shift, there's the beginnings of disruption, or the beginnings of cognitive dissonance, or the beginnings of a new direction opening up to you, or an idea, or you're talking about it, you've been discussing it, or somebody's been discussing it with you. Potentially they're discussing of doing some new study maybe, or a new job, or something like a change of direction. And when this card comes up, it can be a little disruptive. The Page of Swords, they're all messengers. So the messenger of the air element. The air element represents change, transformation. The air element is chaotic, and it can be quite destructive. And it sort of dissolves timelines that are no longer for your highest good. So it's kind of like, when I think of the swords, it's what we're outgrowing, and we're having to learn how to move into the realm of uncertainty. So this is the card of the beginnings of this outgrowth. And often the outgrowth happens psychologically, like it's a psychological outgrowth, but it is about the development of your values. Your values you're starting to get in touch with these values that maybe you've forgotten, or maybe there's some disruption in your life which has sort of given you this, getting you in touch with what's important, what really matters to you. So this card is a messenger, right? It's a messenger. And so then we've got a messenger of change. And so then we've got the Queen of Pentacles here. So she's in the sign of Taurus. The Queen of Pentacles represents the body, sensuality, how we take care of the body, how you take care of your senses. She's traditionally, Taurians are ruled by Venus. Venus is the planet of self-worth, right? Self-love, self-worth, beauty, art, but your body is the art, right? Your body. This is about your senses, like pleasure, bringing pleasure, or bringing pleasure into your experience. So my feeling is with this page that you're being called to make some investments, but investing in yourself and what brings you pleasure in life. So sometimes when this card comes up, I'll say to people, like, it's not about quantity, it's about quality over quantity. Do the thing. If you're being called to something new, which you are, I know you are, because this tells me there's disruption is happening in your life. If you can't see it now, it's very, very soon. This tells me that you've got to go for the thing that actually is most valuable. You've got, don't be afraid to invest in the most valuable, what the quality over quantity. So it's like I'll tell you a story about her. So she is about pleasure and self-pleasure and pleasuring her body and her senses and her sexuality as well. In the story of Queen Omphale, she saw Hercules at a market, and he was being sold as a slave. And she took one look at him and thought, he's hot. I wouldn't want a bit of him. And so she purchased him as a lover. She purchased him as a lover. So she is about your desire. She is about your desire, and she paid good money for him. She couldn't get him on the cheap. She paid good money for him. But but she didn't mind because it was quality. She didn't mind spending her resources because it was for quality. So Goddess on the Mountaintop music. Is that playing right now, Jay? So this card, it really does represent you investing in yourself, for sure, using your resources to invest in yourself. If you watch the beginning of this reading, it's probably another sign, but it is about pleasure. How can you bring more pleasure into your life? Like, what are you doing to withhold pleasure? Like, how can you bring more sexual pleasure into your life? How can you get turned on? How can you, what can you do to get more lit? How can you bring more litness into your life? Yes, it's about bringing pleasure into your life and investing your energy. I think of my work as pleasurable, like my business. I feel lit by it, turns me on, passionate about it, 100%, happy about it, excited, love it. So, yes, Sherry, get those juices flowing. That's right, Shannon. You're in. I always say it. Sweet dreams, Sherry, sweet dreams. Okay. Yes, Anna. Look at the fire happening. Look at the fire lit. So, okay. Who's next? Waiting. I will. Rachel Joe Louise. Hello, Rachel Joe Louise. Me, please. Sure. And I'll also read for those who did the share. So Jake and Shannon, because you shared, I will definitely do a read for you. So hang around if you're still here, Shannon. She might have gone. You can pop a yes in there if you're still here, Jake and Shannon, so I can read for you next. Rachel Joe Louise. Okay. Rach. I just called you Rach. Do your friends call you Rach? I just said that. All right. All right, so Rachel, the message here for you is that you are being caught. Well, you've got two interesting cards. So let's start with this one, actually. So this card is the Five of Cups. It's hard to see with the lighting. The Five of Cups. Here we go. The Five of Cups. So in the story, Eros and Psyche have had an argument. And basically what happened is Psyche married Eros without knowing who he is. She was only allowed to see him at night, yet she saw him but it was in the dark. So she could feel him, but she couldn't see him. So he would come to her at night as a lover, and then he'd disappear during the day. And so she didn't know who she'd married. She'd married this person, but she couldn't see him. So eventually it got her curiosity got the better of her. She started to develop this sense of agency and autonomy in her relationship. She was no longer being, in this misogynistic, she just decided that she wasn't having it in this misogynistic relationship. So she then lit an oil lamp and went to him at night to see who she'd married. I have to see him. So she leans down and she has a look at him, and a bit of hot oil drips on him, and he wakes up, and then he's very mad at her. He says, I trusted you, you broke my trust. And he runs off, and he doesn't stick around to work through the problems, and he leaves her. So this is the card of heartbreak. It is the card of like the first fight or heartbreak or betrayal, where we feel we've been betrayed, or there's like issues around the heart chakra, around betrayal, where you're struggling to trust, have issues around trust. I would suggest with this card that the message is about you learning how to, develop healing, finding ways to have compassion and empathy for yourself, work on loving yourself back into well-being after heartbreak. I feel with this card that you've been betrayed, and it's still affecting you, and that you need to do work on that. The Seven of Cups is about doing that work. When if you want what you want, and if you want the kind of relationship you want, you need to actually do the personal work. And I know that goes without saying, we all know that, but do we all do it? That's another thing. So in this card, basically what happens is Aphrodite sets all these tasks for Psyche to win, to have Eros back, to have her lover back. But she has to face life on her own for a while, basically. She has to face herself. She has to face life on her own, and she has to learn. She has to develop her own sense of self, her own sense of agency, her own sense of being, to become really independent. And yes, I know we can say that's a trauma response. I'm not talking about it from a trauma response. I'm talking about it from the place of knowing who you are, so that and becoming the partner that you actually would like from the other. So becoming the very thing that you want to create, from the other. This is the promise that you will have the relationship that you want, but not without doing some more personal work, unfortunately. Doesn't that suck, hey? More personal work. I mean, how much of that do we have to do? Really? Well, here's what I think. Here's my thoughts around that, just in general anyway, that the personal work really is about loving ourselves, hey? About having compassion and empathy, and finding ways to forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we've made, to have mercy on ourselves, to learn how to cradle ourselves back into being, like to be kind, to be loving. We weren't born in a perfect world, and it's too much to expect us to be perfect when we haven't had perfect parents or a perfect society. Like, we just learn to love ourselves for all of our imperfections. And it's not, I know we live in a society where we're problem saturated. We're constantly faced with problems, whether it be on the news, social media, even marketing is, problem. When you purchase something, you're purchasing something to solve a problem. Because we're led to believe that we're a problem to be solved. You yourself are not a problem. The problem is the problem. Yeah. Anyway, I could go on one about that, but yeah. So Jake. Okay, Jake, and Shannon's still here. Fabulous. Okay, let's read for Jake first. And Pearl Scott, you're next after Shannon. So hang around. Okay. So let's see. Jake. You didn't ask me a question, Jake. So I sort of sat here for a moment thinking, what am I reading? What am I reading on? But we'll do a random card. Oh, look, interesting card. So Jake, you've got the Strength card. So this is about boundaries. Where are you not putting up the boundaries? Where are you not saying no where you need to say no? Excuse me, sorry. That's my dinner. I really shouldn't eat before I do these. I was starving. I felt like I had to eat now. But anyway, yeah, so the Strength card, it does represent you having to assert yourself and to say the things that need to be said to take care of yourself. And you've got to think of yourself as Jake the Invincible, right? That you need to use your voice to exercise your power. And saying no is going to be a good thing. It's going to enable you the space that you need to do to develop other projects. I sort of feel like this might be around work, actually, that maybe you're being taken advantage of, or maybe you're overdoing it, or maybe you're saying yes to everything when you actually want to say no. So sometimes, I want to say to you that it's okay to say no, I'm not. You're not going to lose anything. In fact, it's going to give you the space for you to make a plan. You've been called to make a plan. You've been called, this is the card, you've had audience with spirit. You've had audience with your guides. They've given you instruction. Now it's time to put the plan in place. So whether you potentially are looking at another job, or leaving your job, or reducing your work hours, or finding a way to create another income outside of your current job, or getting a bit more structure to your business, start working on developing your business so that you don't have to deal with this stuff. So this is a transitionary card. It is about transitioning from one stage to another. It's getting really hot in here. Turn my heater off. Yeah, so this is about you, yes, transitioning and having to put a plan in place, Jake. To put a plan in place. You need a plan in place to take you to get that first step. First step is usually the hardest step, don't you think? For most people, that first step is usually the hardest. Once you get, you know, oh, I don't know. Is it really the hardest? It can be. It can be the hardest step. For sure. Okay, Shannon, this is for you. How am I going for time? I feel a bit sick tonight, guys. So I'm going to, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I feel a bit seedy. Well, I do know what's going on. I wasn't well last night, and now I'm just feeling a bit seedy today. I haven't been well. I actually haven't been physically that well. That card in the tarot report is probably relevant for me. The page of what was it? The page of coins, pentacles. Page of Pentacles, relevant for me. Take care of myself this week. Okay, Shannon, this is for you. I'm here. Yes, you are. Let me read for you. Okay. Here we go. Oh, Shannon, great card. So you've got the card of wishes coming true, dreams coming true, wish fulfillment. This tells me that what you've been longing for is going to manifest, what you have been truly desiring, what your heart has been calling for. You know this anyway. So my feeling is, okay, there's two things here. My feeling is this property. I feel like it's close. If you haven't purchased it yet, it's very close. It's so close. And you're being told not to, take a risk. Don't be fictions of the mind. Do the thing. Say yes. I feel like it's closer. Than you realize, or it's already here, or maybe you've already seen it. Maybe you've already seen something. And yes, there's a part of you that's a bit scared, but it will bring you so much joy and pleasure. Go forth and do that. Also feel this is to do with work as well. I'm getting it as also to do with work and to do with a new idea that you've had, a new concept that you've had, that it will be like a wish come true. So go forth and do that. Don't worry about, you are one of the most motivated, intelligent people that I know. And I know that you are the least person I know that would trust the fictions of the mind and the stories. But really, I feel like with this card that any fears that you've got there, just put them aside. It'll work out. It'll work out just fine. It'll be perfect. It'll be like amazing, perfect. So good. And I feel like this property is here. Whether you've purchased it now or whether you're going to purchase it soon, it's soon. It's here. It's here, so close. It's there, it's waiting for you. And don't be afraid to jump on it. Might stretch you a bit, you'll be okay. Yes. Okay. So, who's the other girl? Pearl Scott. Hello, Pearl. Hello. So, no question for Pearl. I don't know. There's just lots of things there. Lots of like emojis. Hello, Pearl. Thanks, Facility. Good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. Hi. This is she's going to be she's an author. Oh, okay, Pearl. This is for you. Oh, pick two cards. And grab that one. Put that one back. I feel like I need it. I'll grab the other one. Okay. Oh, okay, Pearl. So this tells me that you're really wanting a legacy. You're wanting something, a greater meaning. This is the card of like wanting to leave and wanting to be remembered for something. That there's a part of you that is well, not a part of a big part of you, that you want to have something that you can leave behind, or this is the card of leave behind as in want to be known for something. So this is the card of developing this legacy. You potentially, it can even be buying land or investing your resources in something that will be long standing in your life, that will be, you know, something that you can leave behind for future generations, or to be known, remembered for something. And so it is about those big investments. Sometimes it can be about buying a home. Sometimes it can be about like having a book that you've written and you know, you've remembered for, or a thriving business, or a particular accomplishment that you know is important to the rest of your family, your generations, you know, but after will know you for this thing. So it is about leaving. This is about the legacy and how that is important to you, and that you must. Here we go. Now we've got the Devil card. So this is about you doing some of the shadow work to uncover what this legacy is, to get clearer on what this is, what it is that you want to do in this lifetime, how you want, what you want to do with your life in terms of making the difference that you want to make. And so the Devil card, it's not a negative card, but it is about repressed material in the unconscious realm that you've hidden from yourself and from others. And the focus has been there's been a huge focus on the material aspect of your life, which has given you a sort of you've neglected your internal reality to some extent, because of the focus being on what focused on, like, well, yeah, I just want to say the material. I'm just going to say that the material aspects of life. So the focus needs to move away from that, to unchain yourself from this materialism. So this isn't a bad thing. We're all sort of materialistic on some level. I feel like it has been, I just want you to, the message is to unchain yourself from this materialism, to go deeper within, and have a look at what's behind that, what's underneath that, what is that really about for you, what needs to be unveiled for you to get clear about your purpose and to have what you want, which to me, this looks like family and a home and stability and all of that sort of thing. To have that legacy, you've got to do some personal work. I would suggest potentially seeing a healer, or therapist, or a counselor, or psychotherapist, or yes, deeper fulfillment from the core. That's right, Vasiliki. That is right. Yes, and it's not meant in any negative way. It's to help. Like, I feel this would be for your highest good, so that you can actually, have that quality of life that you're actually really seeking, that meaning that you want to have in life. You've got to do some of the shadow work, and I feel like some of it is that materialism has somehow restricted you. So moving away from this sort of materialistic view to what's behind that, what's underneath that. I'm sure there's more to it than that. I feel like, underneath that, the very core of that is sexual repression, or hypersexuality, or, as I said, sexual repression. So I would encourage you to go and see someone to get some support to help you work through this, so you can have this. You're worthy of this. You're worthy of having this legacy, this family, this home, this life, this to be remembered for something valuable. You're worthy of that. Okay. Oh, God, Van Horn John, piss off. Another one. What's wrong with these people? There we go, blocked. He's blocked. Did I block him? Block user. Yes, he's gone. Okay, guys, well, I'm just going to put a link in the comments section again. So here you go. That's for my tarot mentoring program. Tonight's the last night for the early bird prize. There is an easy payment plan, an easy pay that you can do, and it's paid over 10 months, so it makes it really easy and affordable if you can't pay up front, but you really want to do the course. And it is for those of you who want to move away from fortune telling into the realm of tarot psychology, and to be recognized as a reputable tarot therapist. And you will learn skills that you won't learn in a psychic development course, counseling 101, narrative therapy, hypnosis, somatic work, Jungian psychology, obviously everything about the mythic tarot and the myths of the mythic tarot and the psychological underpinnings, what the myths, psychological meanings are of the myths. And of course, you will learn about the divinatory meanings of the cards, but the focus, there's a heavy focus on tarot psychology and helping you up-level your practice from novice to expertise, to an expert, a tarot therapist, so you can hold a professional and ethical space. So the link is there. I've only got 2 seats left. Would love for you to join, and I'm sending you so much love, and thanks for showing up and for the shares tonight. Really appreciate it, and I hope you have an amazing week. Have a fabulous week, everyone. Take care. Bye.